Jonathan Majors, Kang the Conqueror, Creed 3-star, rising star in the industry, has been arraigned on several assault charges and harassment charges. According to the report, Jonathan Majors called the police. Girl was having an episode. She had marks on her, so the police took him in. As per se, the usual, as they would say. This is usually something that happens. The person with the marks, they get called for domestic violence. They don't really pay attention to who called. Doesn't really matter to them, but they arrest him. Apparently, the DA still went with the charges, even though he's the one that called for the episode. Apparently, the reason was she was emotional because, allegedly now, he was texting somebody and she couldn't find out who he was texting, so she got it really emotionally charged. Thing is, she said he put his hands around her neck, strangled her a little bit, very violent. I can see how some people can say he looks like a violent person. I don't know if looks necessarily means that, but I can see the idea. All of a sudden, all these things come out. All of a sudden, you know what happens when he come out. Somebody that don't like him maybe worked with him and didn't say, oh, he was this horrible human being to work for. He was this terrible person that should be held responsible for his cruel behavior. Producers from movies like he was a nightmare to work with. It could simply be because you didn't like him or he was passionate about his work and he wanted it great and he was hard on you. Because people nowadays don't like hard work. But I don't even know if it's that. Maybe it's true. Maybe he's this violent person. The story seems suspicious to me, first off, because he was in a taxi in the middle of a city. Being on his level of stardom and his rise as Kang the Conqueror, the main person in Marvel. He has a movie named after the character in a Marvel film, which is supposed to end the whole 3 phases, 4, 5, and 6. So him just doing something in public in front of a taxi sounded strange to me. If you told me he did it in private, I'd be like, okay, brother got caught doing something he had no business. But other information come out. She recants her statement. Said she was emotional. She was mad. She was angry. The police came at her. He called the police on her. She felt the need to say he did it, but she recanted the statement. Again, Attorney General still going for pressing charges. Then it comes out the lawyer says, we have evidence. We have 2 witnesses, including the taxi driver. We have video evidence. Grainy little video evidence from the taxi to show you what really happened. Now, when you put this precedent out there, if you don't provide what said video, primarily undoctored video, you can tell if you do videography. If you don't provide that, it could look bad for you because you said you had it. If it would just recanted the statement, people would just go off and say, oh, Disney paid her off. Which they're saying, by the way. Disney paid her to recant because they can't lose their biggest star. He's in military commercials. He got a movie about being a pilot during the World War times. So he has a lot riding on him. So of course people don't want to just assume that he did it. And people will always say Disney got a lot of money. They can easily pay this off. But I want to present you with this idea of if he's innocent. I have no clue if he's innocent. He would have to provide the thing because you have put it out there that you have it. So you know I should provide it. And hopefully that if it proves that you didn't do it, people will just leave it alone. Because you know people, if you don't provide evidence, they will call you whatever you're accused of regardless. Because in this society, it's guilty until proven innocent in public opinion. Now, in court, it's the opposite, innocent to proven guilty. But in public opinion, it's guilty to proven innocent. Anybody can accuse you of something. A person you never met can accuse you of something and people will go with it. They will absolutely go with it. But what happens if he provides proof? Does anything happen to the woman? Do we at least get her name so the next brother or anyone who deals with her will know that, listen, she will have an emotional episode, you will call the police, and she will say, you did it. We already seen that video of the lady who's hit herself with a hammer, and thankfully her friend recorded it and gave it to the police, in which she said, I'm going to say my boyfriend beat me. There should be repercussions for false allegations. But the scary thing is, when you think about it, is when you do that, what if it catches a person who really was abused? What if this person has power in situations and scenarios where they actually have the power to manipulate, move things, and make it look like you're guilty and you were given false allegations? Women that don't have access to said thing. Now, all of a sudden, you have this scenario where innocent women will have to deal with repercussions of people who do false crimes. Not even saying this is a false one, I'm just saying if it was. Go back to the woman that hit herself with the hammer. Let's focus on that, not this. Because, again, we don't know. He has to provide the evidence. But let's say that happens. What do we do? Do we continue to just go on? Do we move on? Do we not do anything to people who put people's livelihoods at stake? Ruin to futures? But at the same time, how do we protect the women who might be in a scenario where they have no power and the police is on his side because he's influential, and then all of a sudden they accuse her of false allegation? It's their crime. Unless there's direct evidence against this, how do you handle that? Where's the nuance? I'll be that guy to say, I don't know. I'll be that guy. Y'all just let me know what you think on this segment. I appreciate y'all. Let me know. I hope y'all like all. I put the brown and I kind of messed up. It don't look good. I appreciate y'all. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. Hit that notification bell.